All right, let's dive into the high-stakes world of finance, specifically how to ace those stockbroker interviews.
We're going to break down those tricky questions and arm you with strategies that go beyond the usual fluff, pulling from RoleCatcher's awesome guides and AI insights.
So no more canned responses, we're getting into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
Before we jump into the hot seat, though, can we set the scene? Like, what actually is a stockbroker? Beyond, those Hollywood portrayals of yelling on the trading floor.
Right. It's definitely not all about shouting buy and sell orders. In essence, a stockbroker is a financial advisor guiding clients through the market maze.
Okay, a guide.
Yeah, so they're buying and selling stocks, managing portfolios, those kinds of things, all with the aim of helping clients hit their financial targets.
So a mix of market savvy, analytical skills, and knowing how to connect with people.
Absolutely. That's what makes it such a dynamic role. And speaking of dynamics, the RoleCatcher Career Guide has some great insights for anyone considering this path.
Oh, lay it on us. What are the pros and cons?
Well, the big draw is obviously the earning potential, right? And the chance to climb the ladder. But we've got to be real about the downsides, too. It's high pressure, fast-paced, requires long hours, and you've got to have a thick skin to handle the stress.
Yeah.
And then there's the inherent risk that comes with the territory.
You're playing with real money, not monopoly dollars.
Exactly. So it's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. But if you thrive on challenge and have a genuine passion for finance, it can be incredibly rewarding.
Sounds like a roller coaster, in a good way, maybe.
Totally. Speaking of challenges, let's get to those interview questions. The first one is deceptively simple. What sparked your interest in becoming a stockbroker?
Ah, yeah, that can be a tricky one. Easy to fall into cliches there.
Right. Hiring managers are looking for genuine passion, something unique that sets you apart. Don't just give them the textbook definition. Think about what truly ignited your interest. Maybe a personal experience, a mentor, or a specific part of the market that really fascinates you.
So say someone's inspired by, the rise of sustainable investing, they could talk about how that sparked their desire to help clients build portfolios aligned with their values.
Perfect example. And remember, do your homework on the specific firm you're interviewing with. Connect your interests to their values or specialties. Show them you've done your research and you're genuinely interested in their company culture.
Makes sense. You're not just applying to any stockbroker job. It's about finding the right fit. And I think this is where RoleCatcher's AI can be a game changer, right?
Totally. You can actually input specific job descriptions into their platform and get tailored feedback on your answers. It's like having a personal coach helping you refine your story for that specific employer.
That's amazing. Okay, what's the next question we should brace ourselves for?
This one's all about staying ahead of the game. How do you stay up to date with market trends and changes? It's about showcasing your proactive approach to learning.
So it's not enough to just passively watch the news?
Right. You got to show them you're actively seeking out information from diverse sources. Mention reputable financial news websites, industry publications like the Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg. Heck, even podcasts can be valuable.
I bet mentioning specific analysts or thought leaders you follow would impress them too.
Definitely. It shows you're engaged with the industry's top minds. Don't just name-drop platforms, though, like Twitter or LinkedIn. Mention specific experts whose insights you value. And guess what? RoleCatcher provides a curated list of resources with links to all these sources. No more wild goose chases.
Okay, we've got passion, we've got staying informed. Let's get real for a sec, though, about a challenging aspect of this job, dealing with difficult clients. How do you answer that dreaded question? How do you handle a client who's, let's say, less than thrilled with their portfolio's performance?
That's where you really got to showcase your emotional intelligence, your professionalism. The key is empathy and a solution-oriented mindset.
So no blaming the market or throwing a tantrum.
No, definitely not. The interview guide recommends a three-step approach. First, active listening. Truly hear their concerns, even if you disagree. Ask clarifying questions. Rephrase their points. Show them you're on the same page.
So making them feel heard and validated, that can de-escalate things.
Exactly. Then comes empathy. Acknowledge their feelings, even if you think they're overreacting. A simple, I understand why you're feeling frustrated, can go a long way.
It's not about agreeing, it's about showing you care.
Precisely. And finally, be solution-oriented. Don't dwell on the problem. Focus on actionable steps to address their concerns and get their portfolio back on track.
This is where you flex those analytical skills. You're not just a therapist, you're a problem solver.
Exactly. And if you have real-life examples of successfully navigating tricky client situations, absolutely bring those up. Tangible examples add weight to your answer.
And I bet RoleCatcher can help you frame those experiences effectively. Their AI feedback can really help you highlight those skills and that professionalism that interviewers are looking for.
You got it. It's like having a PR team for your interview prep. Now, before we jump into the next batch of questions, let's take a quick detour to the career guide. It mentions that starting out as a junior stockbroker can be a fantastic way to gain experience.
So it's like a financial apprenticeship, learning from the seasoned pros.
Precisely. You assist senior brokers, conduct research, build your foundational knowledge.
And those early experiences can be super valuable when answering those interview questions about handling difficult clients or managing a workload.
For sure. It shows you've had real-world exposure. All right, let's tackle the next set of questions, which really get to the heart of what it takes to excel in this fast-paced world. Ready to dive back into those interview questions? Let's tackle a classic. How do you prioritize your workload? It's designed to see how you handle, well, the multitasking mayhem of a stockbroker's world.
Because, let's face it, those to-do lists can feel like they're multiplying by the minute.
Especially in this field, things are constantly in flux. The interview guide emphasizes that you need to show you're organized and efficient, not just like reacting to whatever fire pops up first.
So how do we convey that?
Yeah.
Should we be talking about fancy project management apps and like color-coded spreadsheets?
Those tools can definitely be useful, but the key is to demonstrate a clear thought process. Mention systems like the urgent important matrix, where you categorize tasks based on, how urgent and important they are.
Okay, so like responding to a client's urgent request would take priority over, say, researching a long-term investment strategy.
Exactly. Or you could talk about time blocking, where you dedicate specific blocks of time for certain tasks, helps you stay focused, avoid getting bogged down in one area.
Right, having a system, that's key. And this is where understanding those typical stockbroker responsibilities, the ones outlined in the career guide, can be really useful. You can tailor your prioritization strategy to those specific demands.
Exactly. For example, if you're interviewing for a junior stockbroker role, you'd probably emphasize your ability to prioritize, assisting those senior brokers while also keeping up with market research.
Speaking of market research, that leads us to another big question. How do you manage risk in your portfolio? I mean, minimizing risk and maximizing returns, everyone wants that. But as they say, no reward without risk. Right.
It's the eternal dilemma. What you want to show here is a thoughtful, informed approach. Don't make impossible promises, but demonstrate that you grasp the complexities.
So should we be throwing around terms like, hedging strategies and diversification models?
Those are important concepts, but start with the fundamentals. Talk about diversification, basically spreading your investments across different asset classes. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
So instead of going all in on, let's say, tech stocks, you'd recommend a mix of maybe stocks, bonds, real estate, even commodities.
Exactly. Diversifying reduces the impact of any single market downturn.
Makes sense. What else should we highlight?
Emphasize thorough research. Connect it back to your earlier answer about staying updated. Show them you're analyzing those investments from all angles before making recommendations.
No risky bets based on gut feelings or hot tips from, your uncle's friend who knows a guy.
Right. Due diligence is key. And don't forget to mention continuous monitoring. The market's constantly changing, so you need to stay vigilant, watch for those red flags, and be prepared to adapt.
So those analytical skills and that proactive mindset, they really come together here.
Absolutely. And here's where we connect the dots. Managing risk is part of your workload. So when you're talking about prioritization, highlight your ability to balance client needs with those ongoing demands of managing risk.
Great way to tie those two questions together. Shows you can handle wearing multiple hats.
Now let's move on to a pair of questions that really highlight that dual nature of the role. Analytical thinking, A&D relationship building. Be ready to answer these. How do you evaluate investment opportunities? And how do you build and maintain relationships with clients?
It's like the ultimate balancing act. Crunching numbers 1 minute, then charming clients the next.
It's what keeps things interesting. When talking about evaluating investment opportunities, go into detail. Mention analyzing financial statements, understanding industry trends, and factoring in those overall market conditions. Show them you know how to dig deep.
So it's like being a financial detective, searching for clues, finding those hidden gems in the market.
Love that analogy. And when it comes to building relationships, it's all about active listening, personalized service, truly understanding their goals, their risk tolerance, their worries.
So it's making them feel like a person, not just, like an account number in your portfolio.
You got it. And remember, regular communication is crucial. Keep them in the loop about their investments, explain your strategy clearly, be responsive to their questions.
Wouldn't it be great to mention those successful stockbroker profiles from the career guide? Highlight their approaches, their strategies for building client relationships.
Great idea. By referencing those real-world examples, you're not just talking about concepts, you're showing you've learned from the best. And speaking of learning from the best, RoleCatcher's AI can analyze your answers and provide feedback tailored to the specific company culture you're targeting, like having an insider's guide to what resonates with that employer.
That's amazing. All right, I think we're ready for that final set of questions, the ones that touch on some of the more, shall we say, delicate aspects of the industry. Okay, so we're in the final stretch of our stockbroker interview prep deep dive. We've tackled those tough questions, explored key skills. Now let's unveil the secret weapon, RoleCatcher's AI.
Let's talk about how to make that application truly stand out using this awesome tool.
I mean, it's like having your personal branding expert and your interview coach all rolled into one, isn't it?
Exactly. Think about it. You spent all this time crafting those perfect answers. RoleCatcher's AI helps you make sure those skills and experiences really shine through in your CV and cover letter too.
Yeah, because it's like having a secret decoder ring for those, what are they called? Applicant tracking systems, those algorithms that scan your resume.
Exactly. Using RoleCatcher increases your chances of getting past those initial screenings and landing that interview. But the magic doesn't stop there.
Oh, there's more.
Remember all those practice questions? Well, RoleCatcher actually lets you practice answering them out loud. They have a video practice feature. And get this, their AI analyzes your performance, giving you feedback on your pacing, your tone, even your body language.
Wow, it's like having a virtual mock interview with a super attentive interviewer.
Exactly. It helps you present yourself in the best possible light, not just on paper, but in person too, or virtually at least. And the more you practice, the more confident and polished you become.
That's incredible. So we've covered how RoleCatcher helps with applications, practicing your answers. But before we wrap up, let's look ahead. What kind of career path can a stockbroker expect?
The career guide outlines a pretty typical progression. Often starts with that junior stockbroker role, assisting senior brokers, learning the ropes, building those foundational skills.
Like what do you call it, a financial apprenticeship?
Exactly. From there, you might move up to an associate stockbroker, managing smaller portfolios, taking on more responsibility.
And as you gain expertise and build that client base, you could become senior stockbroker, leading teams, developing strategies, working with like those high net worth clients.
Exactly. And for those with leadership ambitions, there's the vice president of investments role, overseeing operations, making those strategic decisions, guiding the firm's overall direction.
So there's a clear path for growth, advancement, opportunities to specialize in different areas. You could even start your own firm eventually, right?
Definitely possibilities there. But remember, no matter what stage of your career, continuous learning is crucial. Staying updated on those trends, pursuing certifications like the CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst, always keep you ahead.
So it's not just about that first job. It's about building that successful, fulfilling career in the world of finance.
Couldn't have said it better myself. With the right mindset, solid preparation, and tools like RoleCatcher by your side, you'll be well equipped to navigate this exciting world of finance.
Well, that brings us to the end of our stockbroker interview prep deep dive. We covered a ton of ground today. Hopefully you're feeling more confident, more prepared, ready to tackle those questions.
Remember, the market might have its ups and downs, but your interview success is entirely in your hands.
So go out there, impress those hiring managers, start building that financial legacy you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to check out RoleCatcher's free resources and consider their Copilot AI subscription for that extra edge.
As you embark on this journey, we leave you with one final thought. As a future stockbroker, what kind of impact do you want to make on the world of finance?
Until next time, happy investing.